Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast. Today we're going to be talking about chapter 4 of the Wolf Bride book. And I think this chapter was really significant. So, as of the last chapter, we had the dream that Morgan was a wolf and she was in danger. And then we go out of the back territory. We find Morgan waiting for us, and she also had the same dream last night. And even we, describe our dreams at the same time, same words, word for word, it was matching. And Morgan describes it as lucid dreaming, so that was really interesting. And then we sort of have this conversation, and then we will walk with Morgan. Morgan will say, "There's a truck waiting for us. You can go to the city." And then we'll suddenly say, Morgan will take her glasses off, the black glasses she always wears. And this time we'll see her eyes, and we'll see she's not looking at us, but in an odd direction. And that's when we'll learn that, oh God, Morgan is blind, and her eyes are like beautiful, I gotta say. The way they did it, behind the glasses, it was really good. And then we talk about it. We can say, like, we didn't have any idea Morgan was blind, and since her childhood she is blind. That's how she was born, and that's how she's been living. Then there's a diamond scene we can learn with Morgan. Like, Morgan will put a blindfold around her eyes and how to observe. I mean, there's no beauty. I mean, we can't see our what's in front of us, but still, we can hear the sounds. We can use our other senses, smell and sound, and we can say it, because Morgan couldn't see. But even we were going to step on a branch, but Morgan even helps us and stops the branch. So how did she do that? Because she definitely has more power, and as of now Morgan is defining it as something. She has it. She is really good with it. So in this diamond scene, you help Morgan. You can get a little intimate with Morgan, and you can learn like how good it is. Like, even if your eyes closed, just by listening, smells, you can say a lot of things, and you can climb tree. You can also learn how Morgan's dad was so strict and told her to help herself even though she was blind, and probably that's why she's here. Otherwise she would have been so much helpless and vulnerable. So I think choices is anything but you just don't read stories, but you learn a lot of things, because personally from these things, you can learn how to act and sort of your own personal growth, or you can get into a good, best and highest version of yourself, just by like Morgan, the character, she has shown from her very first childhood, and how never giving up was an option. Like, she will heal the words she used. So it's really interesting. And then we learned that she once broke her wrist, but yeah, she came back from that, and now that's what she is, living like a normal person. Even though she can't enjoy the beauty, but she can enjoy as much as she can. She's not stopping herself from interacting with the rest of the world just because something is off, something that she didn't have control over when she was born. So that was really interesting. We observed the nature, and even there was a quote like, "You open your blindfold and you observe the beauty when we're finally done, listening and smelling the senses." With those senses, enjoying the nature, then we were on the treetop and we see the beauty. And they said, "You observe the beauty that Morgan will never be able to." So that was really, deep, I would say. And then we spend some time with Morgan. We come down, and Isabel is there. Isabel turns into wolf form, and then Morgan hits her with a tranquilizer, and at first we thought it was a real gun. But then it shocks us. Morgan tries to take Isabel. So there was a truck, and the earlier guy from first chapter of the book, who was like really cruel guy. They try to take Isabel, but the pack comes in, Bastien and everyone, and they help us. So actually, I chose to say, we tried to save Isabel because we didn't know Morgan was gonna take Isabel and do tests on Isabel. That's really super bad, because they think it's a disease. We're being werewolf or being what? It's not a disease. It's like, questioning about someone's sexuality or someone's thoughts. You can't deprogram that or change that. It is what it is. I mean, it's just, I think Choices did another good job with their, blind thing. And then, the representation with like how sometimes some people would think something that is not normal is a disease, So that was really quite well represented. Then Isabel was hit. We get back. Bastien was really angry, but we calm Bastien, and then we can go to Hunt. That was a really really great scene. I mean, that was spooky. The wolf howling because they think hunting will cure Isabel. But we also learned this is not the first time Morgan has taken anyone on the name of experiment, and the people they have taken, they haven't returned. So that's why Bastien had that animosity with Morgan. It was not just it was not nothing. It was something. So definitely this is going to be interesting. And then we go to the hunt with Lila and everyone. Everyone was in their wolf form. It was super great. We saw the hunting. Isabel recovered, but still wary of us. We returned. Isabel and Jet now literally blaming Bastien, the Alpha, that it's because of our main character. Enemies came into this territory and hurt someone, and they question Bastien's, decisions. And finally, Bastien gets angry, but we can calm Bastien down. Bastien will get outside. Bastien will be so angry, and this is a diamond scene we can take. We can go after Bastien, and we can change Bastien's anger into passion. And I think this was really interesting. Bastien tried to be an alpha to our main character too, but our main character, comes to a midpoint. Like our main character doesn't, sort of make passionate, love with Bastien, but then Bastien pulls out that Bastien doesn't want to do it. So Bastien tells us that we are still human. So if we can leave all the human world city behind, then Bastien will always be there. So Bastien is angry, tries to impose on us, but doesn't force us. That's just super awesome, because he's an animal. Earlier we were talking about birds. Like birds just try to pass some DNA into the next generation because that's the animal instinct. You can expect anything like a society or give them some rights from animals. So Bastien has an animal instinct. You need to take into consideration that. But still, Bastien controlled, and Bastien showed some respect at the end and said, "We will be there. I mean, we need to make our decision. And if we make our decision, that's probably going to be the 16th chapter. Then Bastien will be there to take us." And Sebastian just controls himself. And this is really interesting, how Bastien is alpha, and he tries to even put the alpha thing on us, but it doesn't work on us. And how Bastien says, "Why are you different?" So this chemistry was really interesting. I liked Bastien main character so far. And then we go back and we see Jet literally challenging Bastien to a duel, and whoever wins the duel will be the new alpha. Will the alpha prevail, or will the duel be won by Jet and the Hunt speaks back will chase us outside? What will happen next? We'll see. But so far I gotta say that Morgan, like I said in my last video, is probably thinking whatever it is, her senior, this Sawyer guy of SCP Sawyer Energy Project, the owner of this project, whatever he is selling, whatever BS he is selling to Morgan, Morgan is buying into that. She doesn't know that she's actually hurting, people, hurting these werewolves, Bastien and everyone. So I think they're going to be enemy for some more chapters, but eventually it is Sawyer guy will be the antagonist, and Morgan, when she sees it for herself that she's been doing wrong this whole time, even she could have killed some of the werewolves. Maybe she had taken for just experiments, whereas Morgan still believes they can change these. So she was being misled with this information. So I think she will learn this eventually, and she will realize her mistake, and she'll come around, and then Bastien and Morgan will work together, just like in other books like Noah and Mason in My Two First Loves, because it's a love triangle book. So the animosity is gonna be there, and they're gonna be animus to each other, and there's going to be animosity, but this is gonna go away. So that's about my feedback. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this. So far, I liked how close it's to nature. I mean, it's not like right up spooky horror book, but I think it has still more to it than meets the eyes. I'm liking it so far. I'm really liking it. Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.